Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
Caroline, you should tell them about the newest thing that Bloody Happy Hour is doing.
A Patreon.
It's a Patreon. What is that?
That means you're basically like a VIP member, and there's 2 different levels that you can, subscribe to, and you get some perks. You maybe get like merch a little earlier. You get
exclusive merch.
You could get first dibs on signing up for a live show. You get episodes with no commercials.
You get our video because our video is no longer available on YouTube. It is only on Patreon. And the most important to me is you get videos of our live shows. So if you are far away and you couldn't make our last live show, it will be on the website. We're going to record this future live show. It's going to be on Patreon, but also bonus episodes each month. You guys tell us all the time you want more episodes. This is a way for you to get more episodes. So you're going to get our basic Tuesday, Thursdays that we always put out, right? But if you're on a Patreon, you're VIP, you're going to get more.
I can't wait to talk about in detail some more stories because I always have a lot of details I want to go to. I can law-splain. I might read a book.
They just unsubscribed. This is also going to be the exclusive place that Dirty Chat is going to go to. So if that is breaking some of your hearts, just go ahead and subscribe now. In order to hear the full content, it's going to be Patreon. Where do they go again?
Patreon.com/Bloody Happy Hour.
Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody happy hour.
Hey everybody, this is Caroline.
And this is April.
April? Is that you over there? Did your voice get lower? As you can tell, this is not really April. This is Josh. I found him on the street. He was willing to come in and, just help out with the podcast today because April had a little family emergency and we're thinking about her and keeping her in our prayers. And today we have Josh from the streets.
Yeah.
Tell him who you are, Josh.
I'm Josh. I work here. I'm occasionally on the street next to the side.
You work here, like you run the cameras.
I run the cameras.
You're
I
kind of a
edit
big
this.
deal. Yeah.
So
And
I think I know them kind of well enough to talk, but this is literally my first time on a podcast. So the irony.
This is what we call popping your cherry. It's your podcast cherry, and we are popping it. Yeah, I know.
Just like Rocky Horror.
Exactly. So, I mean, this is the great way. This is the best way to start. You just got to start. But this one, today we're doing our quickie, which is just for what's going on in the news, what's happening, any updates, any trials. You know, I'm watching a trial right now, and it's so good. Actually, it was kind of boring, but then it's just the story is so wild. I feel like I'm in like a ride with these pillows next to me. The Karen Reed trial. Have you heard about that one?
Karen Reed.
It's out of Boston. So it's a bunch of Boston people in Canton, but it's her boyfriend was a Boston police officer, and he was murdered, right? Or he was killed.
Okay.
She's the girlfriend is on trial for his murder, but she's alleging, and her defense is alleging that she was framed, and it's like all these people, like these Canton police officers, these Boston police officers, and they were at this house, and this guy was found in the snow. But then it was like, how was he killed? He had like animal scratch marks on, like dog scratches on his leg, on his arm. But he was in the snow, like buried kind of deep. But then the girlfriend wasn't there. But then she's the one who's being charged with it.
So what they're saying is it could be like the police are in cahoots.
Yes.
Like that's what they're going for.
Yes.
And then, I mean, that's interesting with the animal scratches. First, I was like, what? But then I was like, canine dog.
Yeah. And then like a year later, after it happened in 2022, a year later, one of the guys who was another Boston police officer, he owned the home where the deceased John O'Keefe was found in his front yard. He owned that home. That was the family home that they had been in the family for ever since he was a little kid. This guy's in his probably 40s now. He ends up selling the house, like getting rid of the dog, like all of these things that he's doing that are like, why'd you sell your house off? This, like, that's been a family home. And then you have this dog that you just got rid of for no reason. And all these weird, like, just.
Wait, is this.
And he's a police officer.
Are they relating it to this because they're like, maybe there's evidence there?
Yes, because that's where the body of the victim was found, was in his like front yard area.
Oh yeah, that's not suspicious.
Yeah. And it's like they're having a party at that house, but then they said that the girlfriend had left, and then she came back, but she like hit him with the car. But his injuries don't match up with being like back, because they were saying she backed into him with the car.
So it happened at a party, but maybe not.
It doesn't make any sense. There's so many holes, but it's seeming that it's pretty, so far during trial, leaning towards the defense and thinking that the police are working with the detective. There's just so many. It's so many. I like need the yarn, string, and the pins. Like I need all of that because it's so much. But that's the trial that's happening right now, among other things. We all know about the Mica Miller, but we're gonna wait and hold that one till
that's
next. Fair. Yeah. So I don't know if you've heard of these surfers who were murdered in Mexico. Okay. Did you know that Baja California is not California?
Yes. That it's in Mexico?
Yes. I literally just learned that. Well, I didn't know. Because I was looking at where this was.
Because it's like it does this.
I know.
Yeah, and that's the Baja.
Why?
But it's not as
Why are you
populated.
naming it? Why are you naming it California if it's not California?
I guess Mexico wanted something.
They're very confused. It confused me when I was doing the story, looking it up, and I was like, I thought you said they were in Mexico, but they're in California? Baja?
Yeah, no, it's still Mexico, though.
Well, they tricked me. So
yeah.
American Jack Carter Road, his friends who are Australian brothers, Jake and Cullum Robinson, were found dead while surfing and on a camping trip in Baja, California. So Jake Robinson is 30. He's from Perth, Australia. His older brother, Cullum, 33, they moved from Australia to San Diego. They're friends with Jack Carter Road, who's 30 years old, also out of San Diego.
That's where I was born.
Well, Now you're in Waco. So there you have it.
Yeah, literally.
So they were last seen on April 27th while they were surfing and they were camping on the Mexican coast, whatever. And then authorities start like they start searching for him because I guess nobody's heard from them in a few days. It just says they went missing and they're on the search and they find their bodies at the bottom of a 50-foot well. In Santo Tomas, Baja California on May 3rd. And they all had gunshot wounds.
Ooh.
So on Wednesday, May 8th, a Mexican judge in the court said that Jesus or Jesus?
Probably Jesus.
Jesus Gerardo, 33 years old, had told his girlfriend that he had attacked 3 gringos.
Well, there's that.
I know.
Is there more to this?
The judge was like, what does that mean?
Oh.
I think she meant, what do you mean by you attacked them? Because he said, I killed them. So he's charged. But he had told his girlfriend, Ari, that I guess the girlfriend was detained and then some other guy was detained as suspects of the involvement because they found one of the cell phones of the murdered guys in her car.
Got it.
Okay. Well, she told police that it was her boyfriend that did it, that he came home and he said he did this, he committed the crime over tires, Chevrolet tires, and that he had fucked up 3 gringos because they had a lot of money, devices, and the pickup. So he basically killed these guys for tires.
Oh, like literally
tires.
Like when you said the crime on tires, I was like he ran him over.
The girlfriend said she was like he wanted to, and then he had come home, he got rid of their pickup and just kept the tires, like burned the pickup, kept the tires. I don't know what he just randomly came across these guys with the truck and killed them and put them in a well.
I mean, it makes me think like,
kept their tires.
Has he done this already before? I guess they can't do anything about that.
He reportedly went up to his girlfriend, this Jesus guy, and told her, look what I brought you. And it was tires. Yep. That just happened.
That's a keeper.
Yeah. So the girlfriend has not been charged with anything, even though she kind of was.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't really do anything. She just
existed and knew.
Yeah. Like, did she call I don't. But
maybe they just handle things differently there. Like,
well, yeah.
The accomplice part, I don't know.
Yeah, they probably do. It's probably a cartel anyways. He probably was like,
yeah.
Do something. So then right before, we'll go to Mica next. I got a Kentucky woman I got to talk about.
Okay.
She went on a shooting rampage, as one does, and she kills her husband, her sister, and then she got in a shootout with her brother where she was killed.
I think I heard about this.
Did you really?
I think I did.
It was like, this is like the weird, I mean, it's just random. Angela Gosser from Kentucky went on a wild shooting rampage, killing her husband and gunning down her own sister before she was killed by her brother in a shootout.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Angela is accused of driving by her brother's house on Friday, May 3rd. And she had a gun, but she forced her way into the house. But her brother, Daryl Wilson, was home at the time, and he also had a gun. So they said that the two of them got into a shootout, which ended up in Angela being dead or dying. Daryl, the brother, was rushed to the hospital. He had like life-threatening injuries. And they said that they didn't really know the extent of the crimes until they got a phone call from somebody requesting a wellness check for Jennifer Wilson, which is her sister. So they go over to this Jennifer. Nobody can get a hold of her. Police go over there. They find her in her driver's seat of her Toyota Camry with fatal gunshot wounds to the head. Police are like, okay, this is what we think, that she obviously went over to the sister's house before she came over to the brother's house. And then they realized that her husband was also found dead. Like, what evening was that? That I said, later that same evening. Her husband was a retired sergeant with the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife after 16 years of service, and he was just working on a tree on the property, and Angela just opened fire and shot him. So she shot her husband, then she went and she shot her sister in the car, and then she went to her brother and she shot him, but he didn't die, and the brother shot her. And the sheriff says, right now we're still looking for leads. What
lead? What?
I don't know. Is it
A random
Sheriff
gang
Bobby
to blame
Jones
it
said,
on?
right now we are still working with detectives and looking for leads. They are back there working to find the end of it, because apparently they're like, we have no motive.
Wait, is the brother still alive though?
I think the last thing it said was he's like in the hospital. I don't know if,
Well,
it just said he had life-threatening conditions.
I'm just saying if he does live, and just say it.
I know, but what? It's just like it's like she's like a family annihilator.
Yeah.
But she didn't get to annihilate the last part of her family, like her brother. Because then she killed herself. It's okay.
Wait, so she got
She's
shot
dead.
by him, and then she shot herself after?
No, well, they had a shootout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I say that she shot herself?
Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't.
Okay.
So there you have it. Way to go, Angela. Way to ruin things for Kentucky.
I don't know how people just snap like that.
I don't either. And they didn't give us any additional information.
It's not like any of. Yeah. Anyway.
Let's go to Mica Miller. So what do you know? Okay, I know a few things, and we're going to collaborate on this.
Okay.
So Mica Miller she's been like, this is a big headline in the news lately. This is out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Mhm.
And basically she was found dead in a national park.
In the river, right?
I don't know if it's, I just know with the park. She could have been in the river. She was found dead of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. So initially they think that maybe they go to her husband, like, oh, her husband did it. And then this 911 call comes out where she calls 911. Right before she, and she was like, hey, I want to make sure you have my location. And they were like, oh, what's the emergency? And
they
was
hung
like,
up.
Yeah, well, she was like, I'm going to kill myself. So I just wanted to make sure my family knew where my body was. And then the call ends.
Yes.
But what's the background that we know?
So her sister had made a statement, I think even before I don't know if it was right after this whole thing happened or right before, that she had been suffering with mental health issues for quite a few years. I don't know how far back that goes, but I think she talked about it in May.
Like, I know she had at least there was abuse, but that.
Yeah. And the other thing was, I think it was either right after she divorced him, because they were in the middle of a divorce, but I guess he said his wife died, even though they were technically.
Okay, yeah. So I know that, they met when she was 15. He was like 10 or 15 years older than her.
Yeah.
And he had 5 kids, I believe at the time, because
then she was 23 when they married.
Okay, so but then she became like stepmom to all these kids.
Yep.
I don't know where baby mama is.
Mm-mm.
Apparently she had called police multiple times. Like, so, okay, yeah, they get married. And then everything's, I don't know. I think there was just, over time, she had complained a lot about just maybe domestic stuff. And
so she was finally
they all
starting.
were like, she's been groomed this whole time. She had made multiple calls to the police months before her death, just trying to, I guess, because we found out she had a stalker. Was he the stalker? We don't know. Friends and family said that they believed her marriage was abusive. Then she serves divorce papers to him.
Yes. And
Then she takes them back. Then she serves them back.
And then it was supposed to be decided in June, I think.
Yeah, like, so it was coming up. And he, by the way, the husband is named John Paul, they call him JP, John Paul Miller. John Paul Miller, and he's a pastor at this church. I'm not sure what the name of the church is called. Oh, Solid Rock Church. And she, let's see, her groomed her while she worked. She worked for him at the church. They married in 2017. But so like after they were 2017, so that's never. Oh, I guess it said 8 years. Anyways, she serves divorce papers. They're separated. Then she like has this stalker. We don't know who the stalker is. Her tires get slashed. She takes her car to get her tires fixed.
Yeah.
And they end up finding a tracker on her car. Bless.
Thanks.
And the husband confirmed that he was the one in charge. Like he put the tracker on there.
Yep.
And I think she had even hired like a private investigator. Eventually, whenever she ends up killing herself, he then goes to do a sermon, and mid-sermon, he literally says, what does he say? Oh yeah, just days after he had told the congregation that he got a call from his wife who passed away from a self-induced gunshot wound. And he just kind of said it just very like nonchalant just during the middle of the thing. And then, but then apparently a couple days later, he was fired from the church or booted from his church as the pastor. So this is confusing because it's like she killed herself.
But
then why is
really weird.
everybody's like, I guess at first they blamed him, and then they found the 911 call and they're like, oh, it is a suicide. But what are you thinking? I mean, obviously,
I think the weird part is if there was like an abuse thing going on, there's normally that like narcissism part to it. So I find it very weird that if she did die, normally they get like tore up about it because they're like, that's one less person I have control over. But to be nonchalant is really, I don't know.
I also heard that he had a girlfriend, and I also heard that
just
he wrote
started dating or something like that.
I heard that he wrote, husband John Paul wrote Mica's obituary, and it basically talks about him the whole time. That's just what Nancy Grace, she was talking about it, and just was like, well, that just shows you how much of a narcissist he is. Like, it was just talking about him and how he did all these things for her and blah blah blah. And I know that, so this has like been there's been accusations and rumors and all this, which comes with all of these cases that get all this attention. But if you remember back, I don't know when, several years ago, this girl, Michelle Carter, she the high school kids. Michelle was dating this Conrad Roy was his name. He killed himself, but it came out eventually that she was just urging and aiding and abetting and just like constantly trying to get, like, convincing him to kill himself. And then he killed himself.
Yes.
And then she went on trial for it, and she was found guilty, and she was convicted. I think I was, I mean, that's when I feel like it happened. Like,
because everyone was making a big deal because they're like,
I know it happened, and then like it was several years later that the Netflix documentary came out.
It took forever for her to even get convicted because they're like, it's such a weird issue that they're like,
yes,
do we charge it? Because then that sets the precedent.
So then that's what ties us back to this case, is because it seems like the husband is like maybe convincing her or just like talking down to her and all.
Or ignoring just so that it happens.
So it's like, well, was he there just, was he on the phone with her? Was he just telling her to go kill her? And could it be this same kind of situation that Michelle Carter and Conrad Roy, that whole situation? So can someone be convicted for convincing someone else to kill them?
Yeah.
Don't know.
It'll probably be harder because he's a pastor.
That's true. That is true. And then I just have two little last updates. I don't know if you know about the Delphi case, which was the Abby, I always get their names, Abby and Liberty, who were killed in 2017 in February by a random bridge guy. And it's been it was like 5 years before they even had a suspect. Anyway, this guy, Richard Allen, has been charged, and now they're supposed to have the trial in May, and it has been pushed back once again to October. It's real bad. Like the judge is, this is another whole police setup situation too. And this is the cult also. So it's a whole thing. But that trial's been pushed back. And then also just today, well, while we're recording this, Harmony Montgomery, who was a little 5-year-old who was missing for like a year and a half. And then police ended up finding her body. Her dad, Adam Montgomery, was sentenced today, and he got convicted to 45 years to life for killing the 5-year-old Harmony and concealing her body for months in various places. And he already has like 15 years for like having illegal guns illegally or something like that. So he's done for good. So that's good. We're done with him. And that's all I have. Cool. So, everybody, do we have any fun facts to end with? I don't know. Oh, actually, let's end with this. Are you team Drake or Kendrick Lamar?
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, we're team Kendrick.
I've been like,
who shot? There was another
that was
shooting.
Crazy.
There was another shooting.
Another one?
Yes.
I had already known.
Okay, we're going to Popcorn Corner. Popcorn Corner. That's where we're at right now.
Yeah. I mean, ever since even high school, like people knew the weird things. And I don't know why it took so long for anyone to like go off on him like this.
I don't know. I don't know anything about what was happening. I didn't know.
I just know that they're really, really catchy though.
I didn't know that they were having this whole song battle back and forth. I don't know why it caused it to go off right now. But what I do know is that Kendrick is basically saying that Drake is a PDF, as he's calling it. And apparently he is, because he has all this stuff with like teenage girls, I guess.
Yeah, and there's rumors that the label has asked Kendrick and Drake to like chill out, like UMG.
Oh, really? I'm
Yeah.
surprised they don't want him to like keep beefing.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I guess because then like a couple days ago, somebody at Drake's house in California house, I don't know, got shot. One of his bodyguards.
I think he killed, right?
And then I don't think last I heard he didn't die. He just was shot and in serious condition. But then at his Toronto home, that just came out today that another person was shot at his house. So I don't know why they need to be shooting people. Why don't we just have like a little rap battle? Like, can we just rap about it? We don't need the guns.
No. What's another?
Yeah. I mean, that's all. So we're both team Kendrick Lamar. Okay. Even though, I mean, yeah, that's right. That's probably accurate. It's a good thing to do. Yeah. Yeah. People be robbing. People be stealing.
And bitches be shopping.
And that's it. That's all you get from us today. And now you have to say, stay aware, stay alive, always be DTF. And don't forget, is that what you say?
Yeah.
Do it.
And don't forget to stay aware.
No, I say stay aware.
Oh.
Wait, do I? No, you're right. Do it.
And don't forget to stay aware, stay alive.
No. Oh, okay. You say
and
don't
always
forget
be DTF.
to. You say don't forget to. Okay.
Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.